What's up, fam? My name is Steve. Welcome to my channel, Re-Vera. I wanted to continue to talk about leftist unity. So obviously I made a call-out video talking about the video Xanderhal released. And I also direct messaged him on Discord and Twitter, trying to get his attention because I do think this is a very important subject. And I think he's making a mistake. And I think if he took the time to look at it, he would agree with that. I don't think he's a bad person. We need the dirtbag left is striking back at woke scolders for good reason, because they're divisive and they're like calling out stuff that they necessarily shouldn't, and they're not in good faith, and they're not being charitable, and these are legit issues. But a lot of the dirtbag left, I think Pig Puncher does this a fair amount, are doing the same thing. This is kind of a... Yeah, this is a tolerance issue. But you have to be... We need to make an effort to be more charitable and to try to understand people. A lot of people criticizing you feel like their criticisms are valid. We as humans typically jump to thinking people are in bad faith way too quickly. It's just, again, I've been a conservative, I've been on the other side. People are usually not lying. We think they are because we put our frames of reference over what they're saying, and if we said that thing, we would be lying. But we have different experiences, we have different knowledge than they do. It is much more intelligent to be charitable, and it's much better rhetorically to take comments on their own worth. It's a really bad thing to be paranoid and do what he did. The first person he called out in his video, the one that commented on his YouTube channel, and when I was watching the video, I was thinking, that's kind of crap evidence that she's a crypto-fascist. Like, you're not really making a case here. And sure enough, she commented on my last video and says she's an anarchist leftist managing like a youth commune for trans kids or something like this. So obviously that can also be a lie. She could be a he that's a skinhead neo-Nazi working for the FBI. We don't know. It's the fucking internet. But it's irrelevant trying to figure it out. We should look at what the comments say and address that. Don't try to put people in some other box that's not directly related to what they said. It's just not beneficial. So if somebody says something divisive, you can call it out in love. Like, again, you don't want to be divisive about people being divisive. That doesn't make sense. The paradox of tolerance is very important, but it's about like that applies to like fascists and Nazis and stuff. When people are on your side on the left, we do need to actually tolerate them. And if people are being intolerant, you correct them in love and try to reframe things in a more positive way. You try to act as a peacekeeper. We need unity, we need love, or we're not going to win. And if we don't win, we all fucking die. This shit's fucking important. I'm not part of the left to have a safe space or to chum around with people. I'm here to fucking make the world a better place. We have the biggest stakes this world has ever seen facing us in this election. People sitting here fighting over ridiculous things online instead of doing what needs to be done, which is getting Bernie Sanders fucking elected. If you're trying to figure out who's a crypto-fascist and who isn't, or who's a woke scold and who isn't, you're not being productive. Let's just go out there as positive leftists trying to make the world better. Now, I was trying to think about, see if I can do this while I'm driving. I was trying to think about some good criteria to use that as simple as possible as to how to have these discussions. And in my discussion with Mary, who was the person Xanderhal called out in his video, she brought up how mean he is to tankies, and I had to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm all about leftist unity, but we have to share some fundamental values. And to my definition of leftism, the fundamental values would include freedom, a commitment to democracy, and a commitment to human rights. Tankies often don't have those things, which makes them not leftist. I'm sorry, I'm not pro-tanky. Like, if you're supporting authoritarian regimes and you're not willing to condemn the authoritarian actions and jailing political opposition, killing people in gulags, and all this kind of crap, then you're not on our side. Like, I'm not going to join with Nosballs in the interest of leftist unity because they're not fucking leftists. And tankies are the same kind of principle. They might not be Nosballs. They're often much better people than Nazis. Now, I'm not saying they're bad people. And again, this is important. There's no such thing as good people and bad people. If you have that frame in your head, you gotta wipe that out. There's no such thing as good people or bad people. There's only people who are infected with good ideas and bad ideas. And because of that, they have good behaviors and bad behaviors. But that doesn't make them bad people. People can change. People can they can be rehabilitated, they can be educated, and those ideas in their head can change, and that can change their behavior. So many of the problems in the world are caused by this good person, bad person kind of thinking that we have, and we get judgmental on people and hate them and think they're the enemy just because they're being problematic. So yes, tankies are bad, and I don't want to be marching, in some Bernie march or rally or Bernie arrest type of thing and have people with hammer and sickles next to me. I'm sorry. It's a bad look. It hurts the left. But that doesn't mean I don't love them and I don't want to talk to them. So let's be clear on that too. I'm not going to go out attacking tankies. In fact, if you're an authoritarian leftist, if you're MLer, if you're a tanky of any sort, I'd like to talk to you. I'd have you on my channel. We could have a good discussion about it, because I do honestly think you're harming the chances of the left, like, saving the planet. Like, this is a very, very harmful movement, and I'd love to talk to you about it and hopefully persuade you of that. And if I'm wrong, then maybe you can persuade me. So I do want to have that discussion in love, but I'm still not going to agree with it. So anyway, the criteria is, as long as people share fundamental leftist values, a commitment to maximizing well-being in society from behind the veil of ignorance. They agree with truth, democracy, the people being represented, freedom, basic stuff. Then we want to be embracing unity. If they're like on our side in any major way, like if somebody says they're for universal health care, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove themselves otherwise. Like, even if people aren't on our side, we want to bring them to our side. So we don't want to be framing people as enemies in our head. I've had so many discussions with actual neo-Nazis because I do want to bring them to our side. It has been done before. And if all you can do is plant some doubt in their mind, then that has a tendency to moderate people. As an example, I was just talking to somebody today who used to be a huge pro-lifer, such that, like most pro-lifers, that was their single issue they voted on. Well, they've been in a lot of arguments online in these debate groups we're in, and where they've seen the other side, they've seen the arguments for pro-choice, and they're still pro-life. But now they understand the pro-choice position better, they're a lot more moderate in their positions, and they're less likely to vote just on that single issue because they see that there's nuance and there's multiple ways of looking at it. And maybe it's not an actual genocide being committed every freaking day and blah, 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 blah. Just seeing the other side and seeing the arguments has a moderating effect on people, but you have to have these discussions in love and understanding and trying to educate the other person in good faith. So whether they're on your side or not even, we should still be addressing all these arguments in the same way. And here's the thing, if you follow my Twitter, which you should be, Re-Vera Life, I get snarky all the time. I think we all do. I mean, we all get overly defensive. We'll put out some hot takes. So I'm not claiming to be perfect in this respect by any means. I have put out some fucking nuclear takes. But I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to actually influence people. I'm trying to win people to our side. Because that's what we should be doing. Like, are we just here for the freaking aesthetics of leftism? Are we just here to virtue signal? Or do we want to make the fucking world better? Well, I want to make the fucking world better. So join me and let's have good faith discussions, charitable discussions, and try to win people to our side instead of driving them away. So again, love matters. Hashtag love matters. Be charitable. Try to understand other people and their perspective and where they're coming from. Try to understand them. Try to be empathetic. Because if you can't find that common bond and build some rapport and talk to them in a way that they can identify with, then all you're doing is causing the backfire effect. You can Google it. There's been a lot of psychological research on it. The backfire effect entrenches people in their current positions. This has been demonstrated in studies to where if you show people even facts and studies that go against their opinion and they're not convinced, then they'll come away from it more convinced of their false position just because of the backfire effect. The best chance of not triggering the backfire effect is by dealing with people in love and building rapport and focusing on things you have in common, because that's kind of embraces the tribalist part of the brain, to where if somebody sees you as their tribe, it's a lot easier to have a good faith discussion with them. But if you're just attacking people, it's not going to happen. So anyway, that's my little rant on leftist unity and charitability and love mattering. Have a good night. What's up, fam? I just had a couple of extra thoughts. I just got home, and I did want to say anti-fascist action is extremely important. So I'm just saying, don't be paranoid about leftists being crypto-fascists. But if you want to engage in anti-fascist action, it's very important. The rise of fascism is one of the most concerning things we have to worry about in the world. So if you want to join some Antifa kind of groups and learn how to infiltrate, if you want to find crypto-fascists, the best way isn't to be looking at all woke scoldy leftists online and trying to figure out which of them is a crypto-fascist. The best way would be to infiltrate the fascist organizations and figure out who's who from the inside, right? If you have the fortitude to do this, and it's a very toxic atmosphere, so it's not for everybody. But if you wanted to join the Stormfront or something and start masquerading as a Nazi to try to figure out who they are, so you can unmask them and get them fired, etc., etc., actual Antifa action, that's some good shit. I'm not saying that too. So definitely would recommend that. But hey, since I'm home and have my camera out, gotta show you the hound doggers. So, this is Lucy. She's 11 months old, and she's a cutie, obviously. And this is Loki. Lucy's short for Lucifer because she's mischievous. This is Loki. Come on, look at the camera. Look at the camera, boyo. He's a cuddle bug. He comes and lays on top of you all the time, and he's 80 pounds now. So, and this is Lily. She's the only non-husky we got, but she's adorable. She's a really good dog. You betcha. She's the best guard dog. She barks at everybody. Only if there's people coming to the house, though. Not for no reason. She's a good dog. And this is Luna. Luna's the mom. So she had the other two are her puppies. We sold the rest of them. So she's a good girl too. So that's right. She's a good girl.